Venture Vault presents the side quest story, the Verity Manor haunting.
Ever since I was a child, I felt as though something, I don't want to exaggerate, but evil has been watching me.
Content warning. This Halloween special side quest involves dark themes. If you consider content warning spoilers, skip ahead by about 10 seconds. Otherwise, here we go. This story contains gore, violence, death and child death, pregnancy and childbirth, infertility, and classism. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, fiendish friends, and welcome back to the second episode of our Haunted House Halloween special for Venture Vault. Hello. Ooh.
Ah.
I'm Cora Eckert on Venture Vault, Isles of Nakar. I typically play Aleda, but I am the DM for our Halloween special. Venture Vault can be found at @venture_vault on Twitter, on Instagram. You can find it on pretty much anywhere you get a podcast or on our YouTube channel for Venture Vault. I'm going to pass it off to Richard.
Hi, I'm Richard Barlow. I am the DM over at Isles of Nakar on Venture Vault. And you can find me, if you're so inclined to follow, on Instagram at RichardBarlow90 or on Twitter at TrailerBarlow. And I pass it off. I forget who I pass it off to. Let's go to Connie.
Great. Hi, everybody. My name is Connie. My pronouns are they, he, and she. I am a player here on this Halloween special, but usually I am the GM and executive producer behind Transplanar RPG, which is an all-trans, person of color-led, 100% homebrew D&D 5th edition live stream campaign set in a non-colonial, anti-Orientalist world. Our main campaign and our GM advice series / player talkback stream on alternating Saturdays at 3 p.m. Central on Twitch. You can find us on Twitch, Tumblr, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter at Transplanar RPG. And speaking of Transplanar, I'm going to pass us on to C.
Hi, my name is C. I use they, them pronouns, and I am a player here for this campaign, but I am also a player on Transplanar RPG. I am also a digital artist, and you can find me on Twitter at PieSharpArt or on Tumblr at pie-sharp. And I'm going to pass it right over to Nina.
Hi everyone, my name is Nina Nesseth and I am a player today, and I have been a player with Venture Vault in the past as Rune during the early portion of the Isles of Nakar story. But usually I spend my time as a professional science communicator and a writer, typically tackling topics at the intersection of science and genre. You can catch my writing over on Twitter under the handle @Simabiologie. It's okay if you can't spell that. It'll show up somewhere on the screen or in the show notes. As well, my pronouns are she, her. And I'm going to pass it off to Andrew.
Hi, you don't know me from anywhere, but that's okay. We're meeting once again. I am here to play, and I don't know. I don't have anything cool to promote. Just like be nice to people. That's what I'm promoting, kindness. And with that, I will hand it off to our lovely Dungeon Master.
Yes. Thank you. I am lovely. Thanks. Gosh. Once again, I'm Cora Eckert. I will be DMing, and my pronouns are she, her, they, them. But I will be many different characters tonight. And fun fact about Ongalan, this specific nation, there are 5 recognized genders that most people actually will, sort themselves into. People aren't restricted to that, but that's just what the government forms use. That might come up later. It might not. We'll find out. All right. Well, last we left our players, we had been leaving our parlor after Theodosia Verity, the lady of the Verity estate, had just revealed to you all some disturbing news about suspecting that her sister had died because of spiritual influence, and that she had an altercation with her sister's widowed husband where he attempted to kiss her, and he fell down the stairs when she got out of the way. She has not told anyone else except for all of you. Yeah, that's some big reveal, and you got it right away by accusing her and completely throwing her off. So good job. Right now we have Mo Chū being tugged out of the parlor by the ear after saying some very sad things that Olive did not approve of. Olive is the head housekeeper, the head of household, the responsibilities around here, and she is giving you what for, leading you off to the servants' quarters where you will be staying tonight. Olive has also will be guiding you to your rooms should you wish to go there. And Aegon has collected the keys to the estate that should allow you into the rooms of the houses in the various places. So we are still with Olive, dragging Chū Chū out of the parlor. Come with me. What? Oh, dearie, it was exceptionally. We're going to bring you to the servants' quarters.
Ow. Dart. You got a really strong hand for a 1,000-year-old woman.
Excuse me.
Hey, it's a compliment. Yeesh. So, are these the quarters?
I will have to bring you up this. I'm very out of sorts. Dearie, just stay here while I guide the rest of our guests to their rooms.
You got it, boss. And, hey, look. And Chū Chū is gonna reach out a dirty, soot-covered hand and, rest it on Olive's shoulder. I'm really sorry for your loss. I, mean it in a genuine way. I just, whenever bad things happen, you have to take it with a grain of, humor, right? They say laughter is the best medicine. And, if some topics are sacred, then you'll never get the best medicine. Am I right?
She completely just turns away from you and gestures for everyone else to follow her.
I gently walk behind Chū Chū and put a hand on their shoulder and just, perhaps we should stay out of Olive's ire for the time. I'll smooth this over. I understand we all grieve differently, but she grieves aggressively.
Hey, don't worry. Me and Chū Chū, we'll stay out of her ire. Don't worry. Her ire, we're not anywhere near it, okay?
Yeah, what Dart said. And, you got scone crumbs on your fingers, pretty boy. Chū Chū dusts off her shoulder, even though she's immaculately disgusting.
Immaculately disgusting.
All right. Olive starts leading you up the main stairwell, up to the second floor. So you've just rounded out from the parlor. I think, so who is following Olive? So we have Aegon, we have Father Ox. Do we have Finola and Doggett as well?
Yep.
Excellent.
But I believe before we go, before we head up the stairs and leave our tiny halfling friends behind.
Oh, yes.
One moment, please. Father Ox is going to lay one huge hand on the shoulders of each of the halflings as he passes, and he is going to cast protection from good and evil twice at the first level.
Oh.
How does that work?
Until the spell ends, one willing creature you touch is protected against certain types of creatures, and I'll choose fiends. Mm-hmm. The protection grants several benefits. Creatures of those types have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. The target also cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed. If the target is already charmed, frightened, or possessed by such a creature, they have advantage on any new saving throws they make against the relevant effect.
I have horrible news. Is that a concentration spell?
Oh, I guess it's up to 10 minutes, huh?
Yeah, and you can only pick one target. I think because you can only concentrate on one spell at a time.
Oh, fuck, you're totally right.
Otherwise, I was like, "Oh damn, what does Ox's character sheet say?" Because that's gonna be great.
It's important to read those other things, I guess.
Sorry, I didn't want to deflate you. I was just like, I don't think that's how that works.
Damn these rules.
Well, I guess in that case, I'll cast it on Chū Chū.
Okay.
For the next 10 minutes, you will be protected against evil and good. But Father Ox doesn't say any such thing. Just the light in the candle of his flame flickers a little bit brighter until contact is removed.
Spooky.
Are you still, like, even though you're not putting it on Dart, do you still have your hand on his shoulder too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Dart doesn't know what's going on. He's just like, hey, this is nice, man. Thanks. A real nice gesture.
Very sweet bonding moment. Do we ascend the stairs?
I believe we should.
All right. Olive starts walking up the stairs after you lay your hands on the halflings. Follow me, everyone. And she guides you up the stairs. It's a very empty second floor. You can see that perhaps there's even still some smoke damage coming from the west wing. Oh yes, I believe in the previous episode I said the east wing was damaged. It is the west wing. I'm very bad. My Girl Guide training has failed me. Terrible at directions. But it was the west wing that was burned, and that is labeled on our little map of the estate. You see that there is a chessboard, a grand piano, and a blocked off area of double doors that you presume lead to the west wing. You can even kind of see some of the fire damage coming out from where the door had closed. It's not much to look at, these guest rooms. They're not our usual ones that we lend out to guests, you see. But unfortunately, with the west wing went most of our guest rooms. We did manage to find 3 for you over here in the hallways. Please go ahead.
Sorry. It is very lucky indeed that the fire was contained to the west wing, is it not?
It was incredibly lucky. We could have lost more people. I was here that night, and she just takes a deep sigh and points to 3 different rooms on the southern side. There are the rooms over there, and my room is not very far away. She points to a servant's quarters door that it's plainer than the rest, so you can kind of tell that this is for those who are considered less esteemed. Have you any needs? Please don't be scared to reach out. Dinner will be in the informal dining area in about an hour.
Thank you, Miss Olive. It is very well appreciated. And
of course, dearie.
Please do be well.
Oh, thank you. Very kind of you. She takes your giant hand in her little hand, rather, and pats it gently and firmly between her 2 tiny hands around your large hand. And then she goes, well, best be off finishing up supper. And she goes back down the stairs to the halflings at the bottom of the stairs. You, come with me. And on the first floor, she leads you up a set of stairs in the east wing. You go through the gallery into the back. It's more like an entertainment center. So the gallery actually has a bunch of family portraits on the wall. You go into an entertainment area that's clearly been used for entertaining, but hasn't been used recently. A lot of the card tables and stuff have sheets thrown over them to preserve them from getting dusty while they're in disuse. And then you pass into the eastern side of the manor, where there is a stairwell leading up to the servants' quarters. If you follow her up to the second floor, there will be the servants' rooms, and she guides you to two, one of which has a window, the other one does not. And there's also, she points you to a washroom. She has her own private washroom that is attached to her room, and she points that she's just across the hall from you. Which one of you wants the one with the window?
Don't bother me, none. Go ahead, Chū Chū.
Oh, no,
wait,
it's
never
not
mind.
yours,
I'm
Dart.
not there. Sorry, back it up. I wasn't there.
Cool. It's all yours, Dart.
All right, sure. I'll take a look at the stars tonight.
All right. Well, they won't twinkle as brightly as you, my friend.
Ah, you sweet Chū.
Well, so that's where you sleep. And Chū Chū's gonna indicate Olive's room.
Yes. I'll be right across. I'll be right across the hall from you.
Right next to the washroom.
Yes. I have my own, so you don't have to worry about running into me.
Oh, that I'm not worried about. Are the walls thin or are they nice and thick?
What will you be doing?
I just, sometimes I'm just really loud on the, when I go to the privy. I just
Oh. Sound can carry through the pipes, but
You guys are in for a night.
Yeah.
I'm sure I won't be troubled. I don't sleep much these days.
Okay, well, good to know I won't at least be taking sleep away from you. It's just, I ate some of those scones, but I'm lactose intolerant. And
I'll keep that in mind for dinner tonight. There will be, you'll be in the servants' dining area in about an hour.
Great, wonderful. Thank you for showing us to our places.
You're welcome,
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, sleep. I hope I'll see you around dinner, but sleep tight tonight. I mean it. I hope you're able to.
So Chū Chū has really low charisma.
Oh, you don't say.
He's trying to comfort Olive, but I think it's coming off as a threat.
Yeah.
Keep your
Dart's
eyes
just gonna
closed.
put his arm on Chū Chū and be like, "Let's just go hang out in the room for a bit, all right, buddy?"
Oh, okay. Just watch your back tonight in bed. Make sure it's on a nice pillow, or you might wake up with a broken back. If you know what I mean.
Chū Chū's gonna smile and wink.
Olive looks horrified, but doesn't say anything and goes back down the stairs, heading towards the kitchen.
Cool.
All right.
That was real nice, buddy. I think you really
Thanks.
got through to her there.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad for cracking that joke back there, but I think I made it up to her.
Yeah, probably. That was fine. I thought it was good. Listen, maybe we shouldn't be joking around as much here. These people, I think they're kind of high strung. They don't like the same jokes we do.
I guess you're right. Yeah. Thanks for holding me accountable, Dart. I'll try to be more conscious about what I say before I say it next time.
Hey, it's all right. Just maybe be a little careful. But hey, at the end of the day, if they don't think you're funny, fuck them. You're hilarious.
Oh, thank you, Dart. I agree. And yeah, it really sucks. I mean, all the burnt West Wing, I could basically almost even smell the ashes from here, even though the fire was a while ago. You know what I mean? They really got to fix this place up. I'm glad we're here. It sucks that lady's sister died. It's really awful. Such a tragedy.
Yeah, well, we'll make sure it doesn't happen again. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, are you sure you don't want the window, with the whole lactose tolerance thing?
You know what? That might be nice.
Yeah, I think you should take it. You take it.
Well, thank you, Dart. I appreciate it.
And Chū Chū is going to shuffle to the room with the window.
Wonderful. The rooms are relatively plain. There's a single bed, a dresser. I think the one with the window has a desk,
Mm-hmm.
a very simple braided rug so that in the cold mornings, you don't have to step immediately onto the cold wooden floor.
Sure.
There are heating vents going into them, so it is actually quite nice for servant quarters, and there is a fireplace in the hallway near you.
Nice. What can I see from the window?
You can see the open veranda where the landing would be for the main entrance. There is an ornamental garden with a statue of a man holding a book very solidly, very somberly.
Do I recognize this man?
You don't. There is writing down below. You probably could see it if you tried to see it. Do you want to roll for perception?
Yes, I would love to roll for perception. Let's do it. Come on.
First
Big money.
roll of
Big
tonight.
money. That is a 12. My perception is a +3, so that's a 15.
15. It says that it is the founder of the Verity estate.
Okay. Is he an elf, human?
Human.
Okay. Okay, good to know. Good to know. So Chū Chū sort of looks at it, nods to herself, clocks that she can see the veranda from here. Is the sun like close to setting at this point? Is it like going down?
Yes, we are getting close to sunset. I think that we were actually at sunset when Father Ox arrived. So it is autumn, so we're getting to, the light has pretty much gone out of the sky. It's about 7 p.m. So we're having a late supper. Does anyone want to do anything in the hour before dinner? Or do you want to settle into your rooms?
I would like
would just-
to.
sorry.
Oh, sorry. I
No,
thought
go
you were
ahead.
talking about them. You're not talking about us. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think Dart would just go hang out with Chū Chū until
Yeah.
we're called on.
Maybe we play cards or something.
Yeah.
Great.
Mhm.
Wonderful. So you two are playing cards. Let's go see our other visitors, our invited visitors. I think that's how we'll separate these two. Father Ox, Finola, Fox, rhyming, and Aegon. What are we up to?
I would. We're all in our individual rooms at this point, or are we still milling about?
You've been guided to these 3 rooms. You were left in the hallway to pick your rooms. There, it all of merely indicated where they were and where the servants' quarters would be, where you could find her.
I would take the centermost room of the 3 rooms,
Excellent.
like the sort of like sandwich room.
Great.
And I will curtly nod to the 2 of them and just quietly head into my room. And I will set up some of my religious objects. I have a small emblem of the Light of Dawn that I keep with me. And holding that aloft, I use one of my abilities.
Exciting.
Finally, I'm getting to do something. I'm going to use very quietly, as I often do in my first encounters in new spaces, is I will use my divine sense. So I whisper the words of seeking enlightenment, and my small charm gleams for a moment, and I am able to detect the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within the space. It doesn't permeate walls, so it's not all-knowing, but I am able to see if there's any undead, fiends, anything like that in the room.
Excellent. The spirits of knowledge and order fill you with a celestial light. If anyone were to see you right now, they'd probably see a light blue glow coming off of your armor. You do not sense any fiends or any evil spirits within your room.
Well, I guess Finola is going to have to be creative in her journaling on this adventure. I probably shouldn't spoil this for her. And then I quietly sort of set my things about the room and privately clean all the crumbs off my armor. And I'll spend the rest of the time in my room reading and studying, but I'll get out of everyone's way at this point.
Wonderful. Father Ox and Finola? Oh, I can't hear you, C. You're muted.
You're right. Thank you. I think Father Ox is also going to take a step into his room.
Which room did you want to select? Did you want to take the western one, the eastern one?
Oh, the western one.
Western one, right.
Closest to the...
Does Finola have an issue with that, or? I can't hear you, sorry. You're muted.
Oh, she definitely does, but she's not going to say anything about that.
Mm-hmm.
Not to Father Ox.
Mm-hmm. His he disappears into the room, his tail kind of like, you know, swishing quietly behind him. He closes the door. And then there's an hour until dinner. He'll probably wait. He'll set up some incense sticks, I think, in his room. Maybe sit. I think he sees the bed, which is probably built for people who aren't 7'7".
It is made for humans, so perhaps if Father Ox were to sleep diagonally on it, it would probably be more comfortable that way. But you might be hanging off a tad.
Yeah. He goes, well, this wouldn't be the first time. He sets up his incense and sits kind of, is there like a little chair, something like that?
Yes, I believe that there is a small desk in your room, as well as a dresser.
Cool. He'll set his bag down on the dresser, sit in the chair at the desk, maybe it like creaks under his weight, and he takes out a tiny silver harmonica, and we'll just begin to play it softly.
Ooh,
Let
beautiful.
It croon through the house as it gets dark. And he'll just play it for a while and look out the window.
A lovely melody. Wonderful. Finola, so we're with you. Doggett is with you as well.
Yep. So Finola and Doggett are going to take the easternmost room, much to Finola's frustration. And she's going to, you know, kind of throw herself onto the bed with her shoes on and not really like care much about Doggett's presence. He can kind of fend for himself. But she's making sure the door's closed at this point, but she's like, Doggett?
Yeah.
Okay. Just remind me of this thought later, because it's like the best thought I've ever had.
Absolutely. He takes out his notebook again that he just put away momentarily. He's like, I'm ready.
Okay, well, we have to go into the West Wing. Right?
The burned wing?
Well, of course we do.
Yeah.
What happened? We have to go into the West Wing.
Yeah, of course we have to go into the West Wing.
Of course that's where the story is.
Yeah, that's where the story is.
There's no way we can do it before lunch. There's dinner. What time is it?
We get to eat first?
Yes. No, you can't show up to dinner after going into a burned down space. But no, it's a good idea. It's just, why did everyone have to take the rooms in between here and there?
I'm sorry. Should I have taken a different room? Am I staying here?
I mean, like, yeah, you can have that chair. It's fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think there was another room for you. I don't think you were actually even supposed to be here. But if I want you here. I want you
okay.
Here. Yeah.
Good. I packed a sleeping roll. It's fine.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's cool.
I should be here anyway in case something happens.
Exactly. See, you always know. You always know exactly what I need to be thinking.
Doggett is beaming. Just ecstatic. He starts writing down something like on a page at the back that's not, linear, and then goes back to the main one.
That's all I've got. I have to keep thinking about this. It's just an idea. You've captured it. You can read it back to me.
Do you want me to lay back out your evening clothes?
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, no, I can't wear this.
Oh, okay, I'll get it. Hold on. And he takes out your evening clothes. Does anyone want to do anything before dinner? No? Okay, great. An hour passes by. Beautiful harmonica music, very from Father Ox's room. We have Doggett helping Finola Fox dress and look her very best for dinner. Aegon is doing his prayers and reading, and a wonderful game of cards with Chū Chū and Dart in the servants' quarters. The smells of like a wonderful rich stew start coming up from down below, and an hour has passed.
I sort of glide out of my room as much as you can glide in full plate. I glide out of my room and give a polite knock on which is the furthest from the stairs is Fox's room, correct? If I'm looking at the map.
Yes, I believe.
I give a curt 2 knocks on Miss Fox's door, and I head over to Father Ox's door and give the same 2 knocks and just gently walk down to dinner, hoping to ensure everyone is on time because I am that kind of person. And I just sort of after that, blithely walk down the stairs. Again, in full plate, so clanking the whole way, but I feel very grand as I'm, this is high society. Clink, clonk, all the way down.
Wonderful.
The harmonica stops rather abruptly with the knocks at the door, and Father Ox will emerge a few moments later and make his way down the stairs as well.
Wonderful.
Finola pokes her head out of the door fast enough to see kind of Aegon clanking away, rolls her eyes, and then ushers Doggett out to kind of follow the train of people down to the dining area.
Absolutely. As Doggett has been trained, he plucks a hair out of his head and lays it across the doorway as he exits, walking backwards. All right. You go down the stairs. Dart and Chū Chū, are we going to these? So you have been to the servants' dining room. That would be where the servants' entrance was, where you entered. Mm-hmm. So.
Yep. Pretty much once the delicious smell of dinner reaches Chū Chū's nostrils, her nostrils flare, and she throws down her last card. Ace of spades. Back it up, Dart.
Damn it, you're so good at this, Chū Chū.
And as Chū Chū goes to scoop up the cards, a bunch of cards fall out from her sleeves.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't think you were really that good.
All right, have your copper piece.
It's statistically impossible what you just did.
What does that mean?
It means it's unlikely that you would have won that many times.
Yeah, that makes sense. Unless I was cheating, which
which you were.
Yep. It smells delicious. Do you want to check out what kind of grub they're serving us?
Yeah, I'm starving.
All right. But as we head toward the door, right before we enter the hallway, Chū Chū's gonna pause and say, "Hey, Dart."
Yeah.
Look, it's just you and me, so we don't have to pretend. Is everything okay? You've seemed kind of out of it ever since we got here.
Yeah, no, I think just it was a long trip over. I got a bit of a headache. It's fine.
Okay, well, if you ever need anyone to talk about it, I'm here. I might not look it, but I understand these sorts of things more than you would expect.
You understand headaches? Yeah.
I mean, not just headaches, but also, you know. And Chū Chū's gonna gesture at the house in general. Weird, spooky, freaky things happening. I don't want to get too into it, but I can empathize.
Okay, I don't really know what you're talking about, but thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I just thanks, Chū Chū.
Yeah, you're welcome, Dart. Chū Chū pauses, looks like she wants to say more, but thinks better of it. And says, "All right, let's get our grub on."
Yeah, let's go eat.
Okay.
And they head down.
Wonderful. So in the main part of the manor, we'll go back to our invited guests, minus Doggett, I guess, who's also there. You see that as you ascend the stairs, or descend the stairs rather, one of the doors off of the main hallway is open. So this is to the informal dining room where you'll be eating tonight. Both double doors are open and the table is laid. There's no one in there right now, but you may choose seats. There are 8 seats. It's a pretty large table. It's well made, but it's clearly more for the day-to-day eating that the nobles would do here rather than a grand banquet type thing. So it's high class, but not over the top and ornamental.
Is there a head chair?
There is a head chair, and it is empty at this moment.
I will sit to the right of the head chair, and I'll just quietly take my seat. And I'm just slightly ahead of everyone else at this point, so I'm just going to quietly wait. But I do certainly head to that chair.
Great.
My. While the house may have burned down a little bit, it smells certainly like Miss Olive's cooking has got the fire going exactly as it should be.
Very nice. Father Ox, you do notice that these chairs are of a sturdy build. They will be able to easily support your weight.
Mm-hmm. Father Ox is going to choose a seat that has like a little bit of a buffer. And he takes a seat and kind of like lets out a long sigh, folds his hands, puts them on the table, looks at Aegon and perhaps Finola, who are both in the room at this point, and he does a little shrug and says, "I need a little bit of elbow room. You understand?"
I can only imagine. Your wingspan is impressive. I only could hope in combat to have such a reach as you, although I can imagine it makes for messy elbows at dinner tables.
My husband is always going on. Honey, you knocked over the salt. Honey, you knocked over the pepper. Honey, why is my stew on the floor? And it's always because of my elbows. You'd be surprised what a problem it is at home.
That's lovely. Doggett looks expectantly at Finola, trying to see where she would like to sit.
I kind of gesture for Doggett to just calm down. It's fine. This is not a space to panic about, social niceties. Actually, it is, but not so openly. And I will sit across from Aegon, so on the other side of the head chair.
As you head towards the chair, Doggett pulls out the chair for you.
Thank you, Doggett.
Of course, yeah. And pushes it in as you sit.
Now, I wonder where our little halfling friends are.
I had a similar question. I didn't want to perhaps break with Miss Olive's traditions, but I find it uncomfortable that they're seated as perhaps servants, and I don't think it's fair to classify them as that. If they're going to be spelunking as we are in these dark halls.
Oh no, well they must join us. Of course they must.
shall we join our halfling friends as they go into the dining hall, and we'll see what they're up to?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
Were we told to go to the servants' dining room?
I don't know if Olive specified, actually. It would be, she did say you can come down in about an hour for dinner, but she didn't specify which dining room. I don't believe she did. It would be the closest one to you, from almost like the second hallway leading down from the servants' staircase.
Yeah. What do you think,
Where you want to go?
I kind of think that Dart would, on our way, just like kind of give Chū Chū like a look and go the other way and go out to the main floor, not take the stairs.
Okay. Chū Chū looks a little confused and says, "Oh, but the food's closer this way."
Yeah, but I just, I want to see what the place looks like. We need to get a lay of the land for work,
You're right. There might be a chimney where we're headed.
In
that
this
we
place,
haven't
who
seen
knows?
yet.
There could be a chimney in the middle of the floor. This place is wild.
It's such a... did you check out the grills on those heating vents in our rooms?
Oh, man. Those grills alone cost more than what my fire pit does in my place.
Oh, yeah, probably more than our monthly salary combined.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you're right. Let's check out what's going on in here.
As you walk down the hallway, you can probably hear the chatter that's happening in the dining room already from the other guests. A very slim teenage person in like kind of dark servants wear, like dressed all in black with like a little vest, with like smudgy eyeliner, and like bangs coming down over one eye, is holding this large tray and nearly runs into you, but stops at the last minute and goes, "Oh, hey, yeah, are you guys the heating technicians?"
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Are you lost? It's a big building.
Are we lost, Dart?
Yes.
Yeah, where's the food place?
Where are we eating?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I have to bring the appetizers to like the fancy people, but
Do you need a hand?
Yeah, we can help you.
Oh no, Olive wouldn't like that. This is my job, and I'm trying to like train for responsibilities, so I have to go do that, but I'll be like right back out. I'm just gotta leave a salad, and I can bring you guys where you gotta go.
Yeah, sure. You do what you got to do.
Okay, what was your name?
Oh, I'm Juniper. Hey.
Juniper. Hi.
Hi, Juniper.
Hey.
Yeah. I'll be right back. And Juniper walks into the main dining area, and takes the top off of the cloche, and sets it to the side on a side table, and has 3 little salads with like autumnal flowers. So these are flowers that bloom late in the summer that have probably been dried a little bit since they have a bit of a crunch on them, and it's just like a little something to whet the appetite before you go. So like very, very delicate, and arranged very nicely. There's only 3 plates, and Juniper looks very confused at the 4th person who is actually standing there and not sitting. That would be Doggett, just in the room.
Oh, excuse me. You wouldn't mind grabbing a serving for my friend here, wouldn't you?
Juniper,
It'd be no trouble, right?
Juniper averts her eyes. I'm terribly sorry. I didn't realize we had more guests. I'm sorry Olive didn't prepare for that. I will make sure that there's another serving. My apologies. I'll bring out another table setting as well. I will be right back.
Oh,
And-
of course.
As a concern, aren't there supposed to be two others dining with us this evening?
Usually, Lady Theodosia, Lady Verity is down later for dinner. So I know that she's coming. But I'm sure it's just a mistake. We'll make sure that there's space for everyone.
Yes.
Pardon me?
You didn't happen to see two little halflings, did you?
Oh yeah, they're right outside.
Ah, will you send them in then? They'll be dining here with us.
And for the remainder of our stay, we'll be dining as a unit.
Of course. Yeah. Juniper's very much caught off guard, but puts down the 3 salads that they had, and they lay them out, and then they poke their head out into the hallway and say to our 2 halfling friends, the half and half duo, so you're supposed to be in here. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. We're gonna fix you right up. There's also like someone else in there. We're gonna get this all sorted.
Holy shit.
I didn't realize that you were guests too. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Hey, I didn't realize we would guess.
Me neither. Common mistake, I guess, Juniper.
I'll be right back with your salads and the serving plates.
Wait,
Yeah,
hold on.
cool.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
16?
Yeah.
Wow. When I was your age, I was still just sweeping chimneys. I'm almost 19 now, and I'm still sweeping chimneys. How'd you get to be a fancy servant instead of a chimney sweep?
My dad works as the groundskeeper, and Olive needed some extra help. When Miss Hestia was here, there was a bit more staff, but Lady Verity doesn't like as many people around. So I pitch in, I help out, and I'm training, and I'm really hoping to make a few extra coppers here and there.
So networking. I see.
Oh my! I have to go get salads. Oh my gosh! I gotta go. And Juniper brushes their bangs out of their eyes and dashes down to where the kitchen is.
Bye, June. Well, look at that, Dart. You and I, high rollers, huh?
We're gonna have a fancy day. You think they got lobster?
Oh, I hope they got lobster tail specifically.
Oh, that would be great. I've always wanted to have a
Delicious.
lobster.
You know, I wonder if this Theodosia lady fired a lot of the servants. Looks to be a pretty small staff for such a huge mansion.
Yeah, it's weird. There's a lot of you'd think they'd have at least a dozen people working here. I would think.
24, man. There's got to be at least 24.
Yeah, but we've only seen 3. I don't know.
Yeah.
This
One of
place
them's
is
a kid.
weird.
It is weird. I got weird vibes from this place. But hey, lobster time.
Yeah. Just
And,
remember, we're eating with fancy people now. So there's something about forks that's important. I don't know. Just
forks on the left, right? Knives on the right.
I don't know.
You work your way out.
There's gonna be more than one fork. I know that much. I just don't know. I don't know which one to use when. So just keep an eye on the other ones and grab the same fork as them.
Okay. I'll copy you if you copy them. I don't feel good about copying them.
Okay, let's do that.
Great. All right, we got this.
As they come in, Finola has, a flower speared on her salad fork that she's sort of waving around, to Aegon mostly, but for the benefit of the whole room. This reminds me of this one case I solved. It was for this family who swore they had a poltergeist haunting, their garden in the backyard, but it turned out that it wasn't a poltergeist. It wasn't. It was the departed spirit of their nephew who used to tend the gardens and really loved the flowers, and I put them to rest and I solved everything. And you can read about that in my second book. It's in chapter 3.
I would be shocked if I made it that far. Thank you for the preview.
I mean, reading's not for everyone, I understand.
And
I'm happy to tell you the stories anytime.
I deftly spear one of the flowers and twirl it around the plate for a moment. I thought I'd left these types of dinners behind many, many years ago. Is there any hope of our guests joining us? Please.
I do the halflings walk. I think they walk into the dining room.
Yeah, before we went in, Dart attempted to bat off some of the soot, but it's pointless.
Chū Chū's following you and also batting it off. But as while we walk in, is blowing on you, come on, and is like puffing and huffing like the big bad wolf, trying to get the soot off. And I think a huge cloud of soot just comes off of your body.
As we enter, the door opens, soot comes in first.
It's very demonic. And then the ash settles and it's 2 dirty halflings.
I do believe they have arrived.
I blow a little bit of the soot off the flower I had speared. Yes, always exciting entrance. You going to be entering in bursts and explosions on every room you enter, or will this be easing off as our time continues?
I mean, it's not the plan, but what do I know, right?
Yeah, what do we know, pretty boy?
I like it. It's dramatic.
Yeah, cool.
She gets it.
Juniper comes back into the room hurriedly, bangs once again in their eyes as they kind of try and shake it out of the way because they're using both their hands with different placemats and a set of cutlery in a bag on the side. It's I'm so sorry. Normally this is set before everyone gets here, so if we could I'm just gonna shuffle things around a bit. And sets up a lovely placemat. 3 different forks, 2 to the left, 1 at the top, a steak knife that is rather sharp on the right-hand side, as well as 2 spoons, one a bit smaller than the other. There's also Juniper runs back into the hallway really quickly and then pulls a little cart by and takes out some wine glasses, sets them up so that everybody's there, and looks at the halflings and goes, 1 second, and pulls out 2 large cookbooks from underneath the cart and sticks it on 2 of the chairs. That should probably work. Takes some extra napkins and tosses it on top of the chairs so it kind of looks like a cushion. And it's I'll be right back with your salads.
You're fine. Sorry, I didn't catch your name. What?
Oh, my name is Juniper.
It's okay. You can look up. Look up. Don't worry.
Juniper brings their eyes up very hesitantly, and then the bangs fall in front of them. Thank you. I will be right back with the rest of the salads. Bye. And darts off into the hallway.
As Juniper heads out, this platesmanship is exceptional. Everything's perfectly measured out. Not many people can do it that quickly. Juniper seems to have a knack.
Doggett very passive-aggressively moves the fork to the other left-hand side on his own place setting.
Dart's gonna just over a bit to Chū Chū and be I wasn't ready for multiple spoons.
Yeah, but there's more than 1 spoon. What are we even supposed to do with this other spoon?
I don't know. Just keep watching.
Okay. Chū Chū's eyes widen and she stares at every person, one after another.
Juniper comes back with another cloche with 3 more salads, puts them in front of Doggett and Chū Chū and Dart.
Dart's gonna look at what fork the others are using and be like,
Finola's going to like kind of coolly, but like not like super obviously, just kind of hold the salad fork and kind of wiggle it.
Dart's just gonna like subtly nod, like thank you, nod, and then like and then also show Chū Chū like this is long.
Chū Chū picks up the fork and tentatively picks up the. Does each person have a steak knife?
Yes.
Okay, tentatively picks up the steak knife and goes, "What's this for? It's a big knife."
It might be for later. I don't think we're supposed to cut these flowers.
Juniper is going around and giving everyone some water, and then as they're like pouring water for Chū Chū, just goes like, "That's for later."
Oh, okay.
There's gonna be like a steak, like a roast, but honestly, it's like so soft, it's gonna melt in your mouth. You're not even gonna need that knife. It's just for show.
Oh, that
Hey,
sounds great.
Juniper.
Yeah.
Juniper, is there lobster?
Oh yeah.
There's a lobster bisque coming, so we're gonna do a soup after the salad. I shouldn't have told anyone. It's part of a surprise. I'm gonna be right back with the soup. Okay.
Okay. A bisque. What the hell's a bisque?
It's a soup. And
Oh,
then
you're
she
still
manages to
here.
whisper, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go get it."
A soup.
Juniper darts out of the room.
Why don't they just call it soup?
I know. Why don't we just call it lobster soup?
Dart's also like he picked up one of the flowers with the fork and he's just like looking at it like
A flower?
Are we supposed to eat that?
You'll-
Okay.
You'll find that we have a bunch of pretentious names for everything that we do. It couldn't possibly be called soup because that is what people in certain stations eat, and we wouldn't want to be associated with them. There's a reason.
Yeah, who wants to eat soup? Those people are gross.
The sarcasm flies over Chū Chū's head. She stares daggers at Aegon and goes, "That's really rude of you to say. I mean, just because me and Dart eat soup doesn't mean we're less than you. Sure, we make less money. Sure, we're uglier. Sure, we're shorter. Maybe not as smart. And probably not as talented as you or interesting. But that doesn't give you the right to lord it over us."
Lord is a good word because I gave up that title in order to do what I do. I have no interest in the delineations between you and I. Please, I have retained a certain level of snark from my prior station, so I apologize.
Gross.
Aegon sort of like questions what you think that could mean, but just glosses over it in sort of an attempt to move forward. Of just what I mean is, I don't care for the difference either. I spent many years in a monastery eating soup, not bisque. Please don't think of me as one of these.
And of course, we all understand that the spirits do not delineate between those who eat soup and those who eat bisque as well. Father Ox nods. His plate's empty. He like shoved all. He like was like, "Flowers? Fuck yeah!" Like this whole time, like didn't lift his eyes when anyone else came in. Like now his plate is empty, and now he's talking to everyone else. His like eyes on the prize.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, perfect.
Dart's
You hear
gonna
a
kind of
cart.
like. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, you hear a cart rustle down, and Juniper arrives with the soup and starts serving it to everyone, and taking any empty salad plates, but leaving ones that have not been touched yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just when Father Ox says the stuff about the spirits, Dart just kind of like his eyes like go a little thin and just kind of look at you like, the fuck you getting at?
Well,
But
in
that's
my time, it's been very easy to find spirits no matter where you go. The most beautiful of manors and the darkest and dingiest of foxholes all have the potential to be dark, horrible, frightening places, like where Andrew just went.
I think I play little Spanish flea while I try to figure this out.
Wonderful.
Actually,
I'm about to die too, actually, on my camera.
let me switch
All right,
cameras.
let's take a quick pause while people save their cameras.
Cool.
We can eat our soup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connie literally made beef stew for dinner, and it's delicious. So
Delicious.
grab a quick bowl.
Oh yes, please do. If anyone wants to take a quick bio break, grab some water, go to the washroom.
Oh no,
yeah.
I'm back to my ghostly
Oh.
quality.
I'm gonna quickly go to the washroom.
I love that I just said I don't associate with high society, and now I'm back in low def.
It knew.
It's just Aegon and sepia.
480p, my old friend. Oops, I should export.
I've actually been listening to my playlist a lot because it slaps.
Finola's got good taste. Like you can't help it. Okay. Except 3. Today's September 18th. 18th, part 1.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I date them all and everything because I'll forget because I'm stupid. And I'm no longer one of those people who just like types in a random title and I'm like, I'll remember.
All right, we are recording.
Sweet.
How many ducks?
All right. Should we like sync it?
I don't have lightning anymore.
You don't have lightning? Oh, no more lightning. It was optional. Should we sync our audio with the clapping?
Wait.
We're really good at
We'll
that.
wait.
God.
We're learning. We're getting better. We can only improve.
Okay, ready.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. That's good. Yeah.
Counted
Great.
backwards
Pretty
that
great.
time.
I know I threw everyone off. I'm sorry.
It's all this voodoo shit. Come on. Oh, I'm swearing.
That's
I can't
something
swear.
Megan
Not
would
voodoo.
do.
So everyone is back at the dinner. We never left the dinner. It never happened. All the players are back at the dinner in the moment of the suspension of disbelief where we are. We have been served lobster bisque. People's salads have been taken away. You hear a cart clattering in the hallway as Juniper returns to take the soup bowls away and to put out the main course, which is a puff pastry, lovely little savory pie with some green beans that are buttered on the side. So they're serving them up by taking away people's bowls. If people aren't finished, Juniper is just standing off to the side, waiting for people to finish, quietly observing in the corner.
I push my bowl. Like I've only taken maybe a couple bites out of it, and I just push my bowl forward to indicate I no longer require it.
Mm-hmm. Juniper steps forward and goes to take the bowl and puts it on the cart in the hallway.
As they do, Father Ox, who has eaten all of his bisque first,
Picturing the Beast from Beauty and the Beast eating porridge.
yeah, like anyway, you mentioned that Lady Verity eats later than the rest of us. Will she still be joining us for dinner this evening?
Juniper appears a bit startled at being addressed. Rub pulls the bangs out of the way. She sometimes asks us to send up dinner, and she'll just eat in her room. we haven't been given the word yet. I think maybe she just lost track of time.
Would you like me to go and get her?
Oh, that would be really good. I'm not supposed to knock on the door.
That's fine. I don't mind. I'm sure it'd be lovely to have dinner with her. And so I'll excuse myself. And I sort of like delicately push back from the table and walk around and head upstairs.
Screech! Clank, clank, clank.
Yeah.
All right.
You never know when a battle will break out. You got to be in full plate all day, okay?
All the time.
All day, especially because my AC goes from like 19 to like 8 if I'm not wearing this. So,
Woof.
yeah, so I head upstairs.
Wonderful. We'll just follow Aegon for a bit. So you head upstairs. You can see, even just with your passive perception, there's no light at the bottom of Theodosia's bedroom light, but you do see the room next to it has a like glowing green light coming from underneath it.
I give like the curt double knock. Theodosia, dear, you haven't come to dinner and I'm concerned. Theodosia?
You hear a like bit of a sharp inhale. Aegon, one moment, please. And you hear some like movement, some putting back of items onto a table, some shuffling. Then you hear the unlocking of 4 locks on this door. And Theodosia pulls her head out, but keeps the door shut. I'm terribly sorry. I lost track of time. I shall be down for dinner shortly.
It's not a worry. I'm just worried about you. And it would mean a lot to spend some time with you is all.
She gives a kind of sad smile and reaches out her hand and just pats you on the shoulder. Thank you again for coming and for your worry and care for me.
Now, meet you just down for dinner. We're only half elven. We don't have forever. And I head down the staircase afterwards.
Before you ascend, she says, "Oh yes, half elves, full stomachs. No bullshit."
And I curtly nod for a second and say, "No bullshit," and head down the stairs.
The door closes. A bunch of locks go on. All right, so you head back downstairs to the dining room. The puff pastry's out. Juniper looks kind of expectantly at you, and is she coming or?
Yes, she'll join us for the main. So just have them when.
Great, that's great. I'll be right back. Takes the cart, kind of jogs back to the kitchen.
And I look over everyone in the room. She's working on something up there. Whatever it is, it's absorbing her focus. So take the time that we have with her to ask any questions you might have. You don't have to mince words. She's not that kind of woman. And I come and sit down back at my regular spot and sort of like give a wink to everyone to intonate that I didn't say that. And I push my pastries away from my spot and come to a rest.
Soon after, you do hear footsteps coming down the stairs, and Theodosia is putting on a new jacket, one arm coming through as she enters, and kind of adjusts it into place. Good evening, everyone. I do hope that you are enjoying a pleasant dinner. I apologize for my lateness. And she sits at the head of the table.
Everything has
We're
been
just glad you could join us.
quite delicious, indeed.
I'm very glad to hear it. I didn't ask before everyone arrived. Does anyone have any dietary restrictions or preferences?
I can't have dairy, but this bisque was delicious.
But she
Oh.
does have dairy. She can't have it, but she does.
I do.
The bisque has plenty of cream in it.
Cream?
Good thing you got
Yes.
that window, Chū Chū.
Really? Like how much?
It is almost entirely cream.
I ate so much of it.
I will have Olive prepare you a peppermint and ginger tea. You might be quite ill later.
Okay.
Oh no.
This is not going to be an enjoyable evening.
No.
I do believe that in the future it would do us well to take care of both our bodies and our souls. A weak body is a weak heart.
This reminds me of a time that I dealt with a possession that manifested as intestinal problems. And, if you've read chapter 4 of my memoir,
That's one of my favorite chapters, actually.
I figured it would. I know I sort of referred to some of your work in it, that one, because that is the chapter that deals with, possession.
Dargit starts scribbling under the table, trying not to draw attention to things.
But of course, and that was a tricky one. It left, healers baffled. But of course we figured it out. It was possession. Just had to be, exercised. Rest. Sorry?
Possessions themselves are very tricky things. They come in many forms, many disguises. And Father Ox, I'm leaning into the idea that he's a little bit too intense for the situation. Kind of, like his slanted pupils just like hitting every single one of them at the table.
Theodosia matches his gaze completely, staring deep into his rectangle pupils.
Well,
Yes,
that's-
that is what I have called you all here to attend to. If we could just have a bit of discretion while young Juniper is attending to us, just in between. I know that she's going to be bringing back. They recently transitioned, and we're very proud of them. They'll be bringing back our pastry, my meals shortly, and dessert thereafter. But in between their presence, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Oh, of course. But in the meantime, Father Ox, you must have so many stories.
You have stories, plenty of stories. Unfortunately, most of what I have experienced in my day-to-day job life has not been so much of a story as a nightmare. But I do believe that one day everything can be quiet again.
Juniper comes into the room very hurriedly with a large tray with every single meal that everyone else has been eating before, and sets it at Theodosia's spot and rushes out of the room again.
So, this is related to possession?
I have no solid proof. I'm sorry, I know that this must be a difficult topic for you.
No. Why would it be? There's no reason for it to be difficult for me.
I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to out you. I thought that in the parlor I must have been mistaken. but I apologize.
Yep, nope. Oh, I'm just not. There's no reason for me to be upset because I'm not involved at all with this in any way, emotionally or personally.
I'm very glad that you're not upset. It is an upsetting topic, and it's perfectly normal to be upset.
If it's okay with you, or you can have me roll for it, but I would like Chū Chū, when she's talking, to be gripping her silverware so hard that she bends the metal.
Excellent. Do a strength check, please.
Yes! Big money, big money, big money. 17.
It's silver.
Ooh.
It's like it practically melts between your fingers. The indentations of your fist as you clutch it, and it just bends around your palms.
Yes.
Now, I'm no expert, but I don't think that's how you use the soup spoon.
Oh, sorry, I'm just a bumpkin. And Chū Chū places the silverware back onto the table.
Theodosia is attempting to hide a bit of a smile, but says graciously, please don't worry about it. We have plenty of those, more than we could ever use.
You do know you're safe in this room. don't
What?
you?
What do you mean?
You seem stressed.
I mean, this is a big job, right, Dart? We got like 1 million rooms to clean. Of course I'm kind of stressed, and now you're looping us in and wanting us to investigate this ghost possession nonsense. Who wouldn't be stressed out?
This whole time when people are talking about possession and stuff like that, Dart's just had like his head down, like just eating and just like trying to not pay attention. And even right then, when Chū Chū like kind of mentions the job, he like half-heartedly is just like, yeah, big job, we're busy people. Yeah.
Chū Chū definitely notices that. Is her suspicion and her concern is mounting and mounting over the course of this night for Dart.
And then, yeah, he just kind of goes back to eating and, like, again, trying to not, definitely when Father Ox was looking around, was not meeting the gaze at all.
Mm-hmm. How does Father Ox react to that?
I think he's got a pretty good poker face of an empty cow-like stare around the table.
Lovely. Juniper comes in, clears the plates that have been emptied or people have indicated that they are finished with, and comes back with a dessert of a kind of custard cake, kind of a mix between a pudding and a cake. There is a burnt sugar on top, and there is the option of tea or coffee with your dessert.
I'll have a tea, please. Thank you, darling.
Of course, yeah. I mean, you're very welcome, sir.
Just a tea for me, thank you. And I push the dessert away.
Do you not want any? My mom made it, but like, it's really good.
Sure, thank you. And like delicately take a little bit off the side and have a delicate little like, yes, exquisite. Thank you. Please, it's just been a long day. And I just like the dessert to the side.
Juniper like looks pretty pleased that you enjoyed the dessert, and like wipes their bangs out of their eyes and kind of like melts into the background. Theodosia looks at Juniper and goes, Juniper, dear, do we have an alternative to the custard dessert for our guest here who I've just recently found out does not consume dairy? I'm so, oh my gosh, you had so much bisque.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
had a lot of bisque.
I'll make sure that like we can peppermint ginger tea, and we have some cooling stuff, and I'll stop going on about it. I'll just bring it out. And you know what? We've got a really, really nice banana bread in the back that you're gonna love.
Oh, that
it's
sounds
so
really good.
moist, like it's so good and rich.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Give it
I'll
to
bring
me.
that for you.
I want that.
I will, absolutely. They take the custard cake back. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Finola's
and-
trying not to show how impressed she is that this household has bananas.
So, now that Bluebird Juniper is out of the room, what's the deets?
Yes, Theodosia, please share the deets.
Theodosia can't help but grin a bit at you echoing that statement, as it's very out of character. I suppose I don't really know myself. I've told you quite a bit, but if you have questions for me, I'm happy to answer them.
I'm sorry that this is such an unfortunate question to ask over such a lovely meal, but I simply must if we are going to start our investigation off on the right foot.
Of course.
In what room did your sister pass away?
My sister was in the library. She was enamored with the written word. She loved to read. That is where the fire started. There's
Were those synchronous events?
Well, the fire spread very rapidly, and it burned down quite a bit of the West Wing. You may have noticed that on the second floor, the landing is closed off. You can still go on the floor, but I would recommend caution, as much of the downstairs has been destroyed. We're not entirely sure how much of it is sound. The library is just down the hall from us.
Thank you. I understand that might have been hard to talk about.
I'm here to answer any questions that you might have. You also may ask the staff anything. I would just be happy for this to be resolved, and if that involves questions, even for painful topics, I am open to answering them.
So the fire started in the library and burned down most of the West Wing, but the library's fine now, or is it also burned to a crisp?
If you'd care to take a look after dinner, I would prefer not to go myself, but you're more than welcome to take a look. The roof has been destroyed above the library. That's where we have tarps currently keeping out more moisture, but it's wrecked a considerable amount of the collection. As you can imagine, a library is essentially a tinderbox.
What makes you suspect it was a ghost or a possession? Maybe she just knocked over a candle.
It's not entirely what happened to my sister that leads me to suspect this. I have always felt as though there were something measuring me on this estate. When we were younger, Hestia and I, it seemed like the sun shone on her, that the branches would lean towards her, that apples would ripen right in front of her, and things would wither around me. It seems every misstep I took, something would go wrong to remind me that I was lesser than and not the heir. I left to be educated as soon as possible. Hestia, understandably, this was her home. I never felt comfortable. I always felt like something was weighing my flaws against me. I was always cautious here. I never felt comfortable. And I only returned for her wedding. which was a bizarre event. She married Shossi weeks within meeting him, which was very much against her character. I only returned for the wedding during the day. I refused to stay for the banquet. We had an argument, and that was the last time I saw her.
What was your argument regarding, if you don't? I'm sorry to press, but...
No, of course. I thought that she was rushing into marriage entirely too soon. Shossi was not who I would have expected for her. She was very much an academic type. Her previous beaux had all spectacles, bookworms, really. Shossi was athletic and bold and an unusual choice for her. And they had only known each other at the time of the wedding for approximately 3 weeks. Apparently he had shown up on some other business and proposed marriage. And I suppose she became enamored with him. She wrote to us right away to arrange the wedding. I argued with her. I told her I did not approve and I thought she was rushing things. And she told me if I didn't like it, I could leave. And I did.
And then 3 weeks later is when the fire happened?
No, this was 2 decades ago. They've been married for well over 20 years. Perhaps I was wrong about the marriage. About 4 months ago was when the fire happened. I was notified on my work abroad by Shossi. I arrived perhaps 2 months ago, and that was when the unfortunate events happened with Shossi within a week of my return. When I arrived, Shossi appeared distraught, as one would expect, with their wife's passing, but over the next week, he became bizarre.
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
My first question is, were any of the servants present on the night of the fire? And if so, which ones? And my second question is, what do you mean he was bizarre? You mean he just got more and more weird about wanting to make a baby with you, or?
I will address the servant question first, while I compose the second answer in my mind. The Adair's family, the groundskeeper's family, you've seen Juniper, that's their child. They were here. My sister and her husband kept a slightly larger staff than I did, but at the time no one was on residence except for Olive, Adair, his wife Flora, and their 2 children, Ira and Juniper. They're the only ones who make their residence here. They all live in the groundskeeper's cottage. Olive is the one who resides in the servants' quarters.
So she would have been the one closest to the fire.
She was in the kitchens at the time when I asked her about it, but you're more than welcome to ask her questions. She would give a better account as I was not here.
Okay.
Were any of the staff disgruntled about being let go?
As far as I can tell, nobody held it against me. They understood I was going through an adjustment. But that is something to look into. I can give you the logs of the past employees. They were sent to Earth's Bounty with 2 months' pay to compensate them for their leave.
I'm sure to soothe any hurt feelings at that point, but a duty roster, the day maybe the week of would be useful to pour over, if
Of
that's
course. Of course.
You don't still happen to have the marriage certificate, do you?
I believe it would be in my father's study. He kept many records in there. He became obsessed with genealogy in his old age.
Is your father the statue guy out front?
No, that is the founder of the Verity family. That is Aglavale Verity.
I see. So what about this bizarre behavior?
Yes, I am sorry, it is distasteful to talk about. Well, we consoled each other, told each other stories about my sister. It was good at first to hear of him, to hear his stories of the time that I had missed with her. He was kind and inconsolable about her death. We went to the family graveyard and laid flowers there. It was really only in the last 2 days of the week leading up to it where when we'd hug, his fingers would linger. He started looking at me, remarking on how I resembled my sister. Eventually, he told me that for the last 20 years, they had been attempting to conceive, and that it was her wish before she passed, and she had revealed that she couldn't have children. She was very upset by that, and he said that they had accepted it, sworn to adopt. He left her to read in the library that night. That was when he started making some suggestions. The first night I brushed it off as strange behavior that one might have in the grieving stages. On the second night, he became more insistent, and that is when he moved in to kiss me at the stairwell, and I moved.
I'm going to ask a few questions,
Yes.
and I'd like you not to hold it against me, but
Of course.
think of me not good. Think of me as an investigator. Had Hestia ever actually shown an interest in having children?
Yes. When we were younger, she often spoke about wanting to become a mother. She very much wanted children. I was disappointed to hear that I never heard word of a niece, nephew, or nibling.
Sounds like she couldn't have any kids, so the house killed her.
Excuse me.
Pardon.
But I don't know, I'm just...
Fascinating.
Ghosts tend to want things if you think it's a ghost, or, whatever. I don't know, I'm just talking out my butt. And if you don't...
I'm terribly sorry. I appreciate your frankness. It catches me off guard. I appreciate it. If we are to get to the bottom of this matter, we do need to investigate all possibilities, and I should not take offense.
Yes, what you said, Miss Verity. Lady Verity. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just...
Please call me Theodosia.
Theodosia.
I don't feel at all comfortable with that title.
Okay, then Theodosia. I'm just trying to think from the ghost perspective. Not that I would know or have any special insight into what a ghost would think, but...
Of course.
If I were a ghost, I'd want something out of someone, and if they couldn't give it to me, I'd yank, or push in this situation and try to find someone else that could give me what I wanted.
So you suspect that my sister was killed because she couldn't have children?
I'm just spitballing. That could be one reason. Maybe she, was killed because, I don't know, spirits got bored or something, or I'm not sure.
Let's also perhaps take your position as a taken for granted. I think we are all quick to ascribe the paranormal to a situation, but unfortunately, by what you're presenting, this sounds normal. This sounds like a man who wanted an heir and was not given it, and perhaps had a grudge in that regard. Many of the things that I have investigated, as eerie or as strange as they can be, all of them have had very mundane explanations, and I know the mundanity of this answer is disquieting, but this doesn't seem paranormal to me.
I must admit that thought had occurred to me as well. One hears stories of people murdering their spouses for less. It does seem odd he waited 20 years. He was human, not half-elf like me and my sister. So while we had a bit longer, he was 52? Seems
Human
a long
clocks.
time.
Yes, I mean, this is troublesome. I mean, we don't have... It'd be interesting if we could interview him, but that is, I think, beyond all of our capabilities.
I don't have to speak with
And
Dad.
so that is an ability long coveted by the higher in my order, but not one that I own. I'm forced to worry, as perhaps you and I are wont to, that the whims of humans don't always align themselves appropriately with half-elves like you and I. I'm again, I know you've hired us for our skills, but one of my skills is being the 13th man, and this feels like a situation where we are overreaching in the depths of the paranormal, where
I will be happy to be proven wrong. If it is simply a horrible series of accidents, then I could rest. But I had to do all that I could. Do you understand?
I am here to support you, and I agree that this does need investigation. And I cast sort of like a glare across the table to the other two paranormal investigators and glance back at you. I just don't want to have us all tip our hands in the area of our skill and overlook what may be staring us in the face.
Of course.
Well, pretty boy, you're a half-elf. Theodosia, you're a half-elf. Dart and I were halflings. Father Ox is a cow. What about our human at the table?
What does Father Ox respond?
Smiles.
You did eat that salad very quickly.
He looks down. I am excited for the night that we have steak as well.
That's disconcerting. But yeah, what does our human think? This seems to be a human thing. What's your perspective?
About someone wanting to kill someone for not having an heir within 20 years?
Yeah, does this seem likely? Does this seem like something a human man would do? I don't know.
Auget looks very nervous being the only human man at the table.
Yes, tell us more. Everything you know about human men, Finola.
I mean...
Dog, it's like, I have a history of her exes. Sorry. That's another book.
Yeah, that's that's if I need to do a tell-all. That's not for the dinner table.
Sorry.
I quickly jot down to talk to Doggett later.
No, humans are capable of really terrible things. I think it may be possible, but it's not the vibe I'm getting here. Like 20 years seems like a really long time to, make a move on that. You would think that you would, get your sister out of the way sooner if that was the issue and remarry. I apologize, that's crass.
No.
I'm trying to be blunt here.
We need to explore all possibilities. That is one. Darthen, do you have any thoughts?
I'm just a chimney sweep. I came here. All this talk of spirits and possession. I think you guys are all. That stuff don't happen. Maybe he killed her because the thought of someone being possessed is crazy, right? It's crazy.
It very well may be not true. With both of your experience being chimney sweeps, perhaps you could look at the fireplace in the library, what's left of it.
Yeah, I was thinking we could do that. Take a look at the ash back up, maybe.
Of course.
We could probably eliminate, if it was just a chimney accident, we'll probably be able to figure that out for you. So that will at least either answer it or eliminate that possibility.
Jared, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you want someone to come with you in Chū Chū in case it's not just a fire accident?
I don't know what you're
yeah, what are you
insinuating here.
There is a great darkness.
And
well, then turn on some lights,
There's also mold and mildew, and that attracts rodents and giant spiders. Honestly, 90% of the calls I get are for giant rodents and giant spiders.
Well, hey, Darthen and I have taken care of our fair share of giant rodents and giant spiders. I just give them a good whack with my chimney brush. They usually explode.
They're normally no problem. That's probably what this is. Because,
hopefully,
again, spirits of possession, that's crazy talk.
Well, do you really feel that way, Dart?
I don't know what I think, Chū Chū. This is all very this is a lot, okay? I don't know.
Yeah, it is pretty overwhelming. And Chū Chū looks at Theodosia and then glances over at Father Ox and says, "You look like you've been chewing on some cud."
Perhaps it would not do to make everyone at the table so very uncomfortable if they are choosing to hide behind false lies and smoky mirrors to protect themselves. I understand the need to do such things. I have tried it many times in my life, but once you understand that the shadows and the darkness and the giant spiders are not, in fact, the darkest things in this world, you come to understand that you cannot unsee what you have seen. And suddenly the light does not shine as far. And I do believe it would be worth sticking close together and exploring. You are correct, Aegon. All of the avenues in the maze that makes up this house.
And besides, you can feel the spiritual tension in here. You could cut through it with a knife and butter toast with it.
Doggett starts whipping his butter knife around. Oh, not literally. Oh. I thought that was a new method we were trying. It is silver, you know.
Yes.
Like it's real silver. It's like you told me about spirits? I'm sorry. Puts down the silverware.
I'm sorry on this spiritual talk. I didn't think I'd get so involved and ask so many questions. I think I need to step away for a second.
Of course. Well, with dessert concluded, I think I shall take my leave for the evening. Is there anywhere you'd care for me to guide you? Anyone else?
Should we wait till the morning to investigate the chimney, or perhaps we should maybe quell some of our fears and make a go of it this evening?
It would be brighter during the day, but whatever you find is best.
I don't know. I feel like if I was a ghost, I'd be more active at night. But I don't know. There's just a gut feeling I have.
What did Finola have to say?
I'm game if you are, Aegon.
I'd love to see your investigation skills at work. We could perhaps take the measure of each other then.
If we're measuring things.
Go ahead.
And I curtly stand up and steady myself. If we're all game, then.
Indeed.
I look at Chū Chū, and I'm like, "Hey, I'll go if you go, but if you need to step away, I understand. I'm with you."
Yeah, you know what? I think it'll be fine if we just rip the gauze off, you know? Just look at what's going on here.
I do appreciate everyone being so raring to go. I shall be upstairs if any of you require me.
Okay.
Theodosia actually takes off her dining jacket as she leaves, kind of informally, and flips it over her shoulder. And you actually see, like, she's kind of got, like, buff arms as she, like, starts to leave.
Chū Chū discreetly compares her own muscles.
Good.
Well then, I believe we have a library to get to.
Nello's also doing the muscle thing. Everyone's
Pretty
just
soft.
flexing at the end of this episode. Everyone's just flexing their muscles.
I'm in full plate. No one can tell, but I am flexing as well.
Roll for flex off.
Roll
Yeah.
for flex.
That's all. Everyone rolls strength. Let's see who has the biggest
Let's
flex
do
to end this episode.
no.
Are we taking strength or are we taking
Let's
athletics?
do strength. Ooh, strength or athletics. I'll just have
Ah, I rolled poorly.
because it could be like. And then if somebody rolls poorly, try to do a performance check to recover it.
Recover.
How about that?
Oh,
Okay.
my charisma's a -3. I'll just take, okay. I got a 14 for my strength athletics and a 10 for my performance.
You're super buff, but as you pull out your elbow, you kind of like almost knock over one of the glasses. It doesn't break, but
And I get embarrassed.
Modified 20.
Everyone can tell that your plate is like rippling from your muscles.
I'm doing one of those things where, like, you know, like guys when they're in front of the camera for the first time and they're suddenly like presenting themselves and like,
Oh, yeah.
it's one of those. It's one of those like,
You're preening.
yeah. It's one of the few things I actually am good at, so I'm going to take it. And it's just.
I rolled a 7 for strength, but I rolled performance, and I got a 24.
You stand up, and the sheer magnitude of your height in the room, your horns actually like ding the chandelier, just the very bottom of it, and send it swinging. And like you're just magnificent in your abilities that nobody could even tell if you didn't flex well. You're large and in charge of the scene.
I pat my nice soft stomach.
I rolled just a natural 17.
Wow. Finola flexes. She's got some muscle.
Oh.
It's like when
Yeah.
you see like a cartoon, it's just like, bink!
Does Dart try anything?
He's probably not really that interested in like flexing with other people,
Mhm.
but he'll like try to just stand tough. But I got a 14.
Nice.
Whether it's
you
strength or athletics, it's the
You're
same.
looking strong. It's more like you're steeling yourself for an encounter. So you look strong on the inside where it counts. Doggett does not flex and instead like kind of points at Aegon's notebook that he was jotting things down. I like your notebook.
Okay, this is a weird booking thing, but I just like, what kind of binding are you using?
Oh, well, I actually bound this book myself. It's a passion of mine. So I did a double hitchback stitch.
That is exquisite. Handcrafted yourself?
Yeah. So I grew up on a farm where we tan leather. So he starts going into the history of bookbinding that I do not know, and so I don't want to get horribly wrong. But then he talks about like hand making parchment from recycled paper as you take your leave of the dining room, and I assume head towards the library for our next session.
Yeah.
Which is where we'll leave it for tonight.
Nice.